Hello, I am Professor Eric Martin, and welcome to either History 101 or History 102, since the discussion boards and basic class format is the same for both of the classes. I'm just going to make one video for those. And this video, as you can see, it's pretty informal, but I'm wondering if maybe some 5 or 10-minute YouTube videos might help get us off to a quicker start in some of the issues of class process and class procedure and that kind of thing. So by now in the course, you should have posted up an introduction letting us know who you are. You should have posted some of your ideas in terms of what history is. And you should have gotten started in one of two discussions, either if your last name begins with the letters A through question mark, right, and the question mark, the answer to the question mark is on that course content page. You are working with that thread, what is world history? And if your last name comes from that second part of the alphabet, you're working on the thread on historical revision. Now, in order to work with those threads, you need to watch the video from Bridging World History. So make sure you can see those videos. And one of the deals with watching those videos is in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a watch the video on demand. You have to press that. And you might have to press it 2 or 3 times. It always works eventually, but it never works the first time. We are not using anything else from that website except for the videos. So don't get freaked out by all the additional readings and everything for the Bridging World History stuff. Each week we are going to have those Bridging World History videos are going to serve the function of a lecturette type thing, So we'll be covering those. But the bulk of our discussion is going to be focused around that Worlds of History book. So you need that book. You need to be reading it. You need to take good notes as you read it, because that's going to be the foundation of our exams. The videos as well, but the books are going to be the foundation of our exams. The books are going to be the foundation of our discussion boards. The next set of discussion boards starts next week. If you are in History 101, well, if you're in History 102, it's straightforward because there's only one. You've got that. I'm trying to get things to load up here so I can make sure I tell you exactly what I have it written as. But for History 102, you're looking at that early modern world, the Chinese and European expansion. So if your last name is in the first half of the alphabet, you need to be prepared to lead that discussion. Everybody has to read it. Everybody has to read it. Everybody is encouraged to participate in the discussion, and it is the best way to improve your grade. Participate in the discussion every week. However, only half of you are required to lead that discussion. And that discussion, there's the discussion thing in the folder, and I'll maybe get to that with a different video specifically for you guys. Just work on answering the question. But keep in mind that the main mission is to discuss the documents in Chapter 1 of Worlds of History. For the folks in History 102, it is exactly the same thing. For the folks in History 101, it's exactly the same thing for next week, with a slight twist. Y'all also have 2 discussions next week, and one of them is everybody is required to participate in it, where we're looking at those Carl Sagan videos and then looking at some of that prehistoric cave art. However, that second discussion thread, agriculture and urban revolutions, works the same way. If your last name starts in the first half of the alphabet, you are required to participate in that discussion. You are required to lead the discussion. Everybody should try to participate. It's the best way to improve your grade. The way that this is going to work for both classes, History 101 and History 102, is if you are part of the group that is required to lead the discussion on any particular week, your initial posting to get things moving has to be up by Tuesday night, 11:59 p.m. That's a hard deadline. If you want full credit for this discussion, your first efforts to try to get things moving has to be up by Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. The discussion is going to go on until Saturday, 11:59 p.m. So everybody has until Saturday, 11:59 p.m. to get their thoughts on the readings up. And then, if all goes well, I grade it on Sunday. So that's the way the class is designed. That roughly, there's 3 exams. There's roughly 4 discussion folders for each exam. Each group goes twice in leading the discussion, so you'll be formally, leading the discussion twice. On the weeks that your group is not leading the discussion, you do not have to participate. It would be best if you did. It would really help your grade out if you do, but you don't have to. So I want to be clear on that part of it. I'm just making sure those are probably the main things we need to know at this point, and then I will work on developing another video that maybe this is new for me, so I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to make. I have this idea that I'm going to try to make 5 or 10 minutes summarizing what we've been doing. In the past, I've done this all through our discussion boards. The course is very discussion board heavy. As y'all have read through my Here's the Deal document, the idea is that I have spent some time setting up a format for y'all to be able to discuss history online. So it is a self-motivated kind of thing. Y'all really have to take care of this on your end. I strongly encourage you to take notes while you're watching the videos, just like you would if you were sitting in a classroom. I strongly encourage you to take notes on the readings and worlds of history to make sure you understand the main points, and so you have some ideas about what these documents are really about. Because the idea, right, is supposed to be that we're taking those world of history documents, and y'all are learning the skills of being a historian for taking those documents and figuring out how to interpret them, and how do you figure out what really happened based on those documents. So take careful notes on that stuff. Take careful notes on the videos. It gets you a big stack of information, because the exams are kind of tricky. Not necessarily, I'm not into trickiness. But nevertheless, the exams are a little bit tricky, because the questions that I've attempted to develop have been questions, I've tried to develop the questions in such a way that if you have read the documents carefully, and if you have participated in class, you ought to be able to answer the question easily. And if you haven't, it ought to be really hard. But there's mixed results with the multiple guess type exams, right? So anyway, cover the material carefully, and I'm going to call this good for our first video, and hopefully I'll work on some better production value and come up with something else. If you need to chat with me, feel free to call me at the office during office hours. feel free to send me an email through our Blackboard website if you've got questions about the class, and I am going to continue to work on either doing some kind of a Google Hangout, or the people at Distance Learning tell me that Blackboard can do something where we can do online office hours and you can just talk to me face to face. So don't think twice about trying to contact me. Now is the time to contact me if you don't understand something. Let's keep everybody on board. All right, well, enjoy your historical studies.